It's a competition unlike any other. Here's some of the hottest, fastest, and most exotic boats will compete against one another, all while taking on the rigors of competing against offshore conditions. But for these teams, it's not the checkered flag that awaits the winner, but $5,000 for the best poker hand. This weekend, the Sonance Dick Simon Marine inaugural Stars and Stripes Poker Run invades Dana Point, California, where more than 50 teams will charter 5 checkpoint stops along a very challenging race course, all while picking up a sealed envelope containing a single card. And just like the poker you may play at home or at your favorite casino, the person or crew with the best hand at the end of the day wins. Coming up next, it's performance boating and card playing at its very finest. It's the inaugural Dick Simon Marine Sonance Stars and Stripes Poker Run coming up next right here on the Outdoor Channel Speed Zone. It's a beautiful day in Southern California as more than 50 teams have set up shop in Dana Point to enjoy a fun-filled afternoon of powerboating and poker. Hello everyone and welcome to the Sonance Dick Simon Marine inaugural Stars and Stripes Poker Run as we're in Dana Point, California. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ian Howard. Well, for those of you familiar with a poker run, then you know just how exciting it is to play cards out on the open ocean. And for those of you not familiar with a poker run, that's exactly what it is. Teams will have a chance to draw 5 cards with the best hand winning $5,000. That is the top prize. So 5 different stops. The teams will go all the way out to Catalina Island, Newport Beach, then back to Dana Point, California, where they'll unveil their sealed cards. And once again, as we said, the best hand wins. That's simply how it goes out here for this inaugural Stars and Stripes Poker Run. So Tim Horgan, he'll be along to help me with the call in a moment as we're set to bring you one of the premier poker runs out here on the West Coast. And when we come back to Dana Point, California, the teams will be set to run as the Stars and Stripes Poker Run will be getting underway. So keep it right here for the start on the Outdoor Channel Speed Zone.
The Outdoor Channel Speed Zone's coverage of the inaugural Sonance Stars and Stripes Poker Run from Dana Point, California has been presented by Sonance, the leader in architectural audio, by Dick Simon Marine, Southern California's #1 high-performance boating center, and by Racer's Edge Marine Cleaner, the choice for high performance.
You know Dick Simon on land.
Tower temperatures say it's pretty close.
Now get to know Dick Simon by sea. Dick Simon Marine, Dana Point. Sale, service, and storage. When you're ready to play with the big boys.
You want it all when you're out on the water. Heart-pounding performance. Advanced engineering and ergonomics. Unsurpassed componentry and construction. Bold styling and clean graphics. You want the satisfaction and prestige that come with owning the finest powerboat built today. That's the Formula Experience. Make it yours.
Welcome back to the Sonance Dick Simon Marine Stars and Stripes inaugural poker run from Dana Point, California, along with Tim Horgan. I'm Ian Howard. Thanks for joining us out here. And Tim, spectacular weekend out here in Southern California. 56 boats out here along the coast of Dana Point, California, set to run in this poker run. It's going to be exciting out here, Tim. And what awaits all the competitors out here?
We're going to have 4 stops actually on the water. Dana Point's going to be the first one. Each competitor will grab a card on a 32 Albemarle, and everybody after that will mill around for a while. We're going to have a start. Everybody's going to run over to Avalon, from Avalon to Newport Beach, from Newport Beach back to Dana Point, get their card, and grab their last card at the big banquet at Dick Simon Marine.
And from that, you see one of the boats that will be carrying the cards here. $5,000 up for grabs out here this weekend. As you said, there'll be 4 different stops where competitors will grab their poker hands, if you will. 56 boats, Tim. This gets awfully exciting, but one thing to note, this isn't a race.
This is not a race. This is a poker run. We emphasize safety here. We hope everybody has their life jackets on. We try to emphasize that as much as possible with the Coast Guard. You can see here we're starting off now. We're waiting for the pace boat to come up. And once we get the yellow flag from Dick Simon on the Albemarle, everybody will be taken off. And the start boat is a 42 cigarette with the stars and stripes mixed on it. So it's kind of a unique design and in conjunction with the sponsor of the race, which is Sonance.
And nothing more appropriate than that start boat being red, white, and blue like the American flag. And it looks like we're off here.
It's going to be a fun event. The water is very, very nice out today.
Well, I imagine for a lot of these guys, they've competed in offshore competition. Much the same out here, some heavy swells, also an onshore flow, but the driving strategy is going to be a lot different for a poker run than maybe the offshore races we've seen here on the Outdoor Channel.
Absolutely, it will. We are going over to Avalon at this point now, and you will hit some swells. The chop is not up yet, fairly calm right now, but mid-channel you'll see a little bit of swell coming up. There's Don Holtz and his wife in a 36 Skater. They come to several poker runs all over the country.
Yeah, this squad actually hails from Washington. They race on the Puget Sound up there, actually doing 2 poker runs in the span of 2 weeks, also in a poker run up outside the Sacramento Delta. And very exciting time here for all these competitors because the juices are flowing even though it isn't a race, as this 51-foot fountain headed by George Peterson and his wife here, probably the fastest boat out here.
It's one of the top boats out here. He's got triple 500s in it. It's just the length of the boat can take on the swells very, very good. You can tell it's just a great riding boat.
Again, Dan Holtz from Bremerton, Washington, spends a lot of time on the Puget Sound, so he's familiar with the rough water conditions that we're seeing here. And the later in the day we get, the water will lay down a little bit more. Could be a lot different over towards Catalina Island and, of course, Newport Beach, California. That'll be another stop here for this poker run. And a couple of competitors here aboard this 38-foot Top Gun cigarette. Scott Conrad, his brother-in-law, in the back seat. I'm sure they're like backseat drivers back there.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure Scotty's back there talking up a storm. He's not used to being in the back seat, but they look like they're having a ball. And with his brother-in-law, Tommy Gott. They're having a blast, and that's in a 38 cigarette.
The boat that started it all right here, this was the start boat, appropriately painted there, red, white, and blue. Another cigarette, getting all kinds of air.
Yes, it is. It's Kenny Boyce's boat. We had him start the race simply because of that paint job. And Kenny's an avid boater of the Pacific Ocean. He belongs to Scope and some different other organizations.
And another cigarette right behind him. This one a 38-foot Top Gun as well. A lot of cigarettes out here.
A lot of cigarettes.
Dick Simon putting on the event, sells cigarettes, Bajas, fountains, formulas, all being represented out here. And of course, for you pleasure boat fans at home, you can probably relate to this boat out here, a 31-foot Formula.
31-foot Formula is a great all-around boat. It's a good ocean boat, and obviously it's a great lake boat too, and there's a lot of room. Very, very nice boat. A lot of different boat styles out here. We have a lot of family boats out here, not only offshore boats, but we have a lot of family boats out here. We've got 24 open bow Bajas. We've got cruisers. We've got offshore boats. We've got everything out here. We've got the top-of-the-line skaters. So there's a lot to offer out here, and it's just a lot of fun.
Well, 56 boats making the start in this inaugural poker run here in Dana Point, California. And when we come back, we'll have more action from the Dick Simon Marine Sonance Stars and Stripes poker run. So keep it right here on the Outdoor Channel Speed Zone. Welcome back to the Sonance Dick Simon Marine inaugural Stars and Stripes poker run as we're high above Avalon Bay on the beautiful island of Catalina. Once again, Tim Horgan, Ian Howard along with you. And Tim, exciting time out here in the waters off of Southern California. Here's Art Kaiser and Lee Squire, probably better known for their water ski racing, but here they are competing in this poker run as all the teams are heading over towards Avalon Harbor for the second card, Tim.
And they've already picked up their first card in Dana Point, now heading over to Avalon. And what they're doing now, they're going into probably around mid-channel on their way to Avalon Bay to pick up their second card, and everybody looks like they're having a ball.
29-foot Levy craft we saw there momentarily, and a 33-foot fountain, this one formerly owned by Eric Hammond, another one appropriately painted for this race, a Stars and Stripes configuration. Another great boat for offshore racing, as is this one, a 1980 Scarab.
Well, everybody knows Dave Rankin and the Pennzoil boat. That's been around racing for several years now, and I believe Dave Rankin is out doing poker runs and just having a blast.
Well, Dave Rankin, of course, known for his offshore racing exploits over the years, also a great inboard competitor, but now competing in a lot of poker runs. In performance boating, you not only have to run good, but you also have to look good. With more, here's the Outdoor Channel Speed Zone in the Cockpit, presented by Dick Simon Marine.
You've got a high-performance boat sitting in the driveway, and it just doesn't have that luster. Well, Larry Sweetser of Racer's Edge has got a product you're going to want to take a look at, because it's going to bring that luster back to either your high-performance or perhaps that high-performance bass boat you might have. And Larry, what exactly is Racer's Edge?
Mike, Racer's Edge is a Teflon polymer polish. It has a very light oxidation remover and cleaner in it, and it works extremely well on marine products. I brought today with me a sample of our Racer's Edge Marine. We've got a very high performance boat sitting behind us, and we're going to give it a whirl for you.
What exactly is a Teflon-based polymer polish? What is this different than whatever else may be sitting out there on the shelf?
Well, it's different in the way that it doesn't have an organic product in it like carnauba wax. It's a chemical base, very, very stout, hard surface finish, resistant to fallout. The elements, say the boat goes through during the operation, high speeds. We have an aviation polish that we have certified. The polish just stands up extremely well against the elements. Let me just give you a quick demonstration. Very small amount on a cotton or terry cloth, and we just apply it to the surface. You can see the luster come up. You can see the shine come up on that surface. The surface tension is decreased. Hydraulic smoothness is present. There you go. We're all done.
And of course, you don't have to wait like with the carnauba wax for it to dry and form that film that you then have to buff out.
No, the Racer's Edge will dry practically as the surface area has been attended to, and then wiped off immediately, and then you go to the other area of the boat. You can feel the smoothness, the hydraulic smoothness on the rag. It just slides right over. So everyone's very happy with it. Also, I might point out, it's not just for a painted surface. We can go ahead and apply this to the bare metals, stainless steel, chrome, aluminum, any of the fiberglass, plexiglass on the boat. It's excellent for water removal. It takes out your water spots and so on for marine application.
Now keep in mind that next time you go out boating and you come back, you want your boat to get that luster, you're going to want to take a look for Racer's Edge at your local store.
And Tim, as we come back to the poker run, many of the teams now heading into Avalon Bay, so they'll pick up their card here. Remember, $5,000 on the line. It looks like the 51-foot fountain of George Peterson, the first one to reach Avalon Harbor. And Tim, we have some other boats now heading off towards Avalon Harbor. A few have already made it there where they've reached their cards, but once again, it's not a race. It all depends on the hand you get after collecting all 5 of your cards.
Some of these boats are capable of doing 100+ miles an hour, but again, this is not a race. There's a lot of family boats out there just enjoying the day.
And of course, some of the smaller boats still making their way. Great pleasure boats here. We see all sorts, retired offshore boats, pleasure boats from home. They have the downstairs compartment, porta potties, you name it. You can bring it on the water, actually compete in a poker run. We're seeing that out here this afternoon.
What they're doing now, Ian, is they're coming into the second turn, the second card boat. Each one goes up individually. They hand out a card, and then they're on their way to Newport Beach for the third card on the water.
And explain to the people at home, the cards are given in a sealed envelope. Can you look at the cards? Can you look at your hand during the course of the event?
No, you can't. The cards are sealed at the very start, and they're not open until you receive them or you go back to the banquet at Dick Simon Marine.
So about half the boats have reached Avalon Harbor, still some out there on the water. Again, we emphasize it's not a race, but all these guys and gals, they get the competitive juices flowing, and when you see a boat next to you, it's kind of natural to want to step on the throttle a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It's pretty hard not to. It's but again, there's a lot of family boaters out there. They're comfortable doing 40, 50 miles an hour. they're going to take 2 or 3 hours to do the course. So they're not out there to race. They're out there to enjoy the sunshine and everybody's company.
And of course, when you're watching an event or a poker run in offshore conditions, it's a little easier physically when you have a larger size boat. This one, F280, a former offshore racing boat. Joker's Wild, 35-foot formula, pretty much ideal for these kind of waters.
35 foot is an ideal size for ocean and large lake use. Obviously, the Pacific Ocean, the size is everything, the length is everything. It's going to give you a little bit more comfortable ride. But as you can see today, the conditions are perfect.
And the Baja ahead of them. This is a smaller entry, and of course we have 2 boats reaching Avalon Harbor here. This team at the top of your screen from Phoenix, Arizona, the Ashley family, if I'm not mistaken. They're slowing down now, so all the teams slowly pulling in to the card boat.
Byron Ashley came from Phoenix, Arizona, and it is a family affair with them.
Interesting story here, the Matrix. This one built by Formula. Bill Young, Vice President of Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Bill Young has been, he's Vice President of Major Motion Pictures from Warner Brothers, and this is his favorite boat. Bill's been a boater all his life. He bought this 400 SS Formula from us and just has enjoyed it every weekend.
And that's the main thing about poker runs, is the fun and enjoyment out here. Not necessarily a competition, even though $5,000 is on the line for the best poker hand, but the key, enjoyment, having a good time, and being safe. Well, many of the teams have reached Avalon Harbor, so the action has stopped here at the poker run, but still plenty more to come as you're watching the inaugural Sonance Dick Simon Marine Stars and Stripes Poker Run right here on the Outdoor Channel Speed Zone.
You know Dick Simon on land.
Tower temperatures say it's pretty close.
Now get to know Dick Simon by sea. Dick Simon Marine, Dana Point. Sale, service, and storage. When you're ready to play with the big boys.
You want it all when you're out on the water. Heart-pounding performance. Advanced engineering and ergonomics. Unsurpassed componentry and construction. Bold styling and clean graphics. You want the satisfaction and prestige that come with owning the finest powerboat built today. That's the Formula experience. Make it yours.
Coming up on the Outdoor Channel Speed Zone Race Calendar, presented by Teat Custom Marine. September 21st and 22nd, Plymouth, North Carolina will be the place to be for the 2002 ODBA U.S. Grand National Championship on the Roanoke River. See the liquid quarter mile like you've never seen it before, because in the blink of an eye, the quest for a championship is either yours or not. That's your Outdoor Channel Speed Zone Race Calendar, presented by Teat Custom Marine.
Welcome back to the Sonance Dick Simon Marine inaugural Stars and Stripes Poker Run. Teams have reached Avalon Harbor here. This is where they'll pick up their second card out of 5. Once again, along with Tim Horgan, Ami, and Howard. And Tim, the boats have stopped here at Avalon Harbor. They've all got their cards on a fantastic weekend out here. 56 boats made the start. And this is a sport that we've seen continually grow over the years. As we mentioned, almost 60 boats out here. Second card, once again, the envelopes are sealed, so that anticipation is with all the race teams right now.
That's what it is. They're anticipating getting back to the last stop and getting their cards open and find out who wins the $5,000. And it looks like right now nobody wants to leave. It's such a beautiful day out today. Everybody just wants to mill around and enjoy the sunshine.
And what they'll do here, they'll wait for all the boats to get their poker card here. They'll start them all up. They'll head them off to Newport Beach, California. That'll be the third stop, as you mentioned, at the top of the show before heading back to Dana Point, California, where they'll get their fourth card. And then it will all end up at the Dick Simon Marine Shop, where the fifth and final card will be presented, and then the teams will find out who wins that $5,000. And of note, the money is going to a good charity. It is ELF. That is for children with serious illnesses, so a lot of good money being raised here this weekend. And of course, we see the boat holding all the cards here inside of Avalon Harbor, so an exciting time for everybody out here.
Yes, it is. Right now, it's anticipation going to Newport Beach. Conditions might change a little bit. We'll wait and see.
And while the teams continue to pick up their cards here at Avalon Harbor, let's meet one of the big supporters of poker runs and the former president of Scope, and that's Lou Lyle.
The poker runs are great. Poker running's become so popular nowadays. It allows guys such as myself who have, family boats, stock boats, single-engine boats, twin-engine boats, to come out and not compete, but go to an event. It's kind of like a race, but it's not. Run with their comrades, friends, people with the same enthusiasm, the same hobby of offshore power boating. Maybe win some money if they're lucky. Show off their hardware and just spend a great day on the water and go to a nice event where anybody of the rank and file can participate, whether you have a 19-foot boat or a 50-foot boat. Doesn't matter what power you have, doesn't matter the speed, the same amount of fun is there for everybody. Most of the poker runs have coverage by either helicopters with video or footage that they shoot. They have still photography, and a lot of people never have the chance to get photos from the air. It's a great way to do that and meet other people.
And that was Lou Lyle. As we come back to the poker run here, the inaugural Stars and Stripes edition outside of Dana Point, California. And Tim, all the boats have left Avalon Harbor. They have received their second poker card. They're on their way to Newport Beach, California. And as we see this race here, it's become so organized, Tim, almost 60 boats making the start, but it wasn't always like that in years past. This sport has grown tremendously over the years.
Well, yeah, it has, Ian. I'm not sure exactly when poker run started, and it might have started from a couple guys in Florida, going back and forth to different restaurants, getting together on the weekend, 2, 3, 4 boats, and it's kind of grown from there. And we've got several hundred boats at different poker runs now up in the Great Lake area, Minnesota. They've got 200-300 boats that are entered in the poker runs. So it's growing and growing and growing. It's just a big family affair.
You talked about this being a family event. That's one of the important things about a poker run event is the fact that it is family oriented. It's fun. It's a chance to come out and reminisce, but also a chance to compete.
Yeah, you're right. It is. It's not the first one there that's gonna make and break it. It's getting the best poker hand. But at the same time, they're able to run hard, safely, under some great conditions.
Catitude right here, former team that raced in Pacific Offshore, 33-foot Daytona catamaran. We're not seeing a lot of catamarans out here this weekend, only maybe a handful of them. We saw Skater a little bit earlier in the poker run, and now the Catitude boat. Good catamaran, good solid catamaran, great for these offshore conditions. We take a look at the drive packages on the back end of it.
That just gives you a good example of the different styles of boats that incorporate in the poker run. We've got bead bottoms. We've got every manufacturer out here. We've got Cigarette. We've got Fountain. We've got a Scarab here that we're looking at. It's a center console fish boat.
So many different kinds of styles out here. This one almost looks like as you said, a fishing boat out here. A couple of outboard Mercuries on it. So really a sport that anybody and anything can compete in.
You're right, Ian. It is. And they're out for a Sunday cruise, it looks like, without the poles.
Well, husband-wife team aboard that Scarab. And talking to Dick Simon before the race and Emmanuel Lupe, they would have been ecstatic with just 40 boats showing up. 56 made the call, and of course, you talked about poker runs across the country. It's not uncommon to see 150 boats out there. This has become huge nationwide.
Well, we were very, very excited about this. We had no idea that we were going to have 56 boats in this poker run. It caught us off guard a little bit, but everything has just worked out real well.
And another Baja here, piloted by Fast Freddy Kosmarsky. So a lot of different boats out here. You have smaller boats, you have larger boats. You mentioned Dick Simon Marine, Cigarettes, Formulas, Fountains, Scarabs. They're all represented out here.
Well, Ian, we've got 232 Baja. Paul Aronsold is a customer of ours. He purchased this boat. It's an open bow. It just goes to show you're just going to bring anything out here that you can and just enjoy the ocean.
A little bit larger boat, but one of the important aspects of these poker runs, not only fun on the water, that's a great way to reminisce. You see all your friends that you compete with, a chance to have dinner over the weekend, but also play cards almost Vegas style, but with a lot of the money going to good charity. And there's still plenty more to come as you're watching the inaugural Stars and Stripes Sonance Dick Simon Marine Poker Run right here on the Outdoor Channel Speed Zone. Welcome back to the Sonance Dick Simon Marine inaugural Stars and Stripes Poker Run. Well, the teams are heading towards Newport Beach, California for their third poker card, but first let's go behind the scenes with Dick Simon Marine. Located in Dana Point, California, Dick Simon Marine came to be because of a peculiar relationship with a man well known for his exploits at Indy.
How did Dick Simon become involved in the powerboating in Southern California? That's a good question for myself to ask me, Dick, because I look back at it and I say to myself, as a young boy, I ran a hydroplane at 12 years old, 13 years old. And for many, many, many years, we water skied. We did a lot of things in that area, but finally, I decided one day that I wanted to get involved in fast boats because of our Indianapolis racing and because of having raced most of my days throughout my growth of what I am today. I was always in the one race car or another and loved boats at the same time. So we bought a 47 Fountain and fell in love with boating very, very much and ultimately became a dealer. And I'd have to say that boating offers to me probably more in life than any other sport I've done because you can do it with your family. It's not just an individual sport where it requires, like all of the other sports I were involved in, skiing through college on a scholarship. That was just me skiing. And whether it was parachuting, that was me parachuting. Boating, it's something that your wife can drive the boat, your kids can drive the boat. You can be a part of a family entertainment program surrounded around the boat. It's not just an individual sport.
From its humble beginnings, Dick Simon Marine has grown into a reputable leader in performance boating.
Dick Simon Marine is the largest storage, sales, and service facility for high performance and offshore fishing boats in the western part of the United States, definitely the largest in California. In the high performance boats, we're carrying Outer Limits, Cigarette, Skater, Fountain, Formula, Baja as well.
Dick Simon Marine isn't just limited to high performance.
Dick Simon Marine, we carry Egg Harbor and Albemarle sport fishing boats, as well as a selection of brokerage boats down in the harbor. We have another office in the harbor that handles more of the fishing boats. We do cater to everything from the small center console boats up to the very customized either sport fishing or high performance boats, really the full gamut.
Backing up its heritage in performance boating, Dick Simon Marine offers award-winning service for any size boat.
Being a full-service dealer, we can do just about anything here. We can do major tune-ups, major overhauls, engine replacements, high performance, but we do just about everything here. For a full-line dealer, you don't have to go anywhere else. We can service the boat, everything, from refrigerators to gensets to ACs to engine maintenance to engine replacements. So we can do just about anything here. We welcome the 16-foot boats. We welcome the fishermen. We have one of the best outboard mechanics we feel in the industry right now. Anywhere from Mercury to Yamaha to Honda, we can service them all. We like that industry. We like the fishing. Dana Point Harbor is a fishing community, so we want that outboard service.
With a location central to some of the finest in boating destinations, opportunities are plenty for boaters of any type.
Well, I'd have to say Dana Point and Newport Beach and all up and down the coast here between San Diego and Los Angeles and even further north, you have an awful lot of opportunities that you don't have anywhere else. You have boating that lasts almost throughout the year. Sometimes the best time to go to Catalina Island is in December and January and November. That's when all of the kids are in school and it's not as crowded. But actually the weather is so nice, the water is more calm at that point, and you can have an awful good time on it. So a lot of families will go over there on weekends, and that gives them a chance to have family togetherness in boating all year long.
For Conrad, who recently took the helm of Dick Simon Marine, he looks to continue his enjoyment of performance boating while also delivering the finest in performance boating to all of Southern California.
Be in this business, I think it needs to be part of your lifestyle. We enjoy just taking an easy cruise out to Catalina, socializing, hanging with those, the people out there, as well as going to the races and mixing it up there. I love doing both. I love the racing and hope to see our Pacific Offshore Group continue to grow and keep going for years to come. I plan on staying involved in that, as well as fishing events and other stuff. Really, whatever, as long as I'm out on the water, I'm enjoying myself.
While the Poker Run teams are en route to their third stop at Newport Beach, so don't go away as you're watching the Sonance Dick Simon Marine inaugural Stars and Stripes Poker Run right here on the Outdoor Channel Speed Zone.
The Outdoor Channel Speed Zone's coverage of the inaugural Sonance Stars and Stripes Poker Run from Dana Point, California has been presented by Sonance, the leader in architectural audio, by Dick Simon Marine, Southern California's #1 high-performance boating center. And by Racer's Edge Marine Cleaner, the choice for high performance.
You know Dick Simon on land.
Tower temperature say it's pretty close.
Now get to know Dick Simon by sea. Dick Simon Marine, Dana Point. Sales, service, and storage. When you're ready to play with the big boys.
You want it all when you're out on the water. Heart-pounding performance. Advanced engineering and ergonomics. Unsurpassed componentry and construction. Bold styling and clean graphics. You want the satisfaction and prestige that come with owning the finest powerboat built today. That's the Formula Experience. Make it yours.
Welcome back to the Sonance Dick Simon Marine inaugural Stars and Stripes poker run. Along with Tim Horgan, I'm Ian Howard. And Tim, boats are on their way towards Newport Beach. They picked up their second card at Avalon Harbor, just outside of Catalina Island. So now the real poker run, the poker hands are starting to build, anticipation starting the match, adrenaline on the race course.
Well, you're right. Not knowing what hands you have, they're anticipating that next card, and they're going to get there as fast as they can. Here we see Eric Hammond's boat, the 38 Cigarette, the ex-Virgin boat. It looks like they're enjoying the water. It's not real rough out. It's very smooth. Yeah, Eric Hammond's wife is driving the boat, and Craig Cleaver's throttling the boat. And it looks like Eric Hammond just sitting there enjoying the day.
Well, Team Virgin, this boat ran in the Pro Series for Todd Kleinworth along with Trace Martin last year. And for Eric Hammond's wife, she's the only female driver out here, if you will, competing in this poker run. Eric Hammond, of course, renowned offshore competitor, has been in poker runs over the years. Of course, the Catalina Ski Race, and what better boat to have almost than a 38 Top Gun Cigarette, made its name in offshore competition, and right behind a Scarab. Also in the hunt for the third card out of a series of 5 as the boats are on their way towards Newport Beach, California. Of course, the water changes so much on your way towards Avalon Harbor, now on your way to Newport Beach, California. Presents all kinds of obstacles for all these poker run competitors.
Well, it does. The changes aren't going to be as great as they normally are because the weather is just staying with us. We don't have a huge chop. We don't have a big swell. Even the smaller boats are having fun. They're out there. The attitude of the boats are very, very good. You see a 42 fountain of Chris Grayson's boat just passing the Scarab.
And a closer look now at that 42-foot fountain. Chris Grayson, his poker run teammates, they're all pumped up heading towards Newport Beach, California. Here's a team that's excited. Look at this guy standing behind him, pumping his fist. I'd have a seat back there, but otherwise this is open ocean terrain. It's not like an offshore race where you have the buoys. It's a closed course. Out here, anything goes.
No, we give them the coordinates to each turn or to each card boat at the driver's meeting, and they know their coordinates, and they just punch that into the GPS or compass readings, and then they head out.
So much different than offshore racing. Guys will put strips of tape on the inside of their boat and pull one off for each lap they complete. Out here, you're punching stuff into GPS systems. There's a lot going on before the race in the pits, just leading up to the poker run itself.
Well, everybody wants to make sure their boats aren't going to break. That's the one thing you don't want to happen. So yeah, it's the maintenance on the boats are going to be just like they would be at the races. They're going to look at the motors, maintain the motors, and get them prepared for the poker run because these guys are running hard.
Another look at probably our biggest and fastest boat. You look at one of those 23-foot Bajas next to this one. Well, you can put 2 of them inside of this fountain.
Yeah, this is a special design by Reggie Fountain. It's actually it's called a 51 fountain. It's 47 extended to a 51 in surface drive boats, boozy drives.
Of course, the Cigarette also competing well out here, making some fast times, some very fast stops behind that 51-foot fountain, if you will. Formerly owned by Trace Martin, Todd Kleinworth, now owned by Eric Hammond. Great Factory 2 boat, also a great poker run boat.
very, very comfortable boat out in water like this. You can see these guys aren't getting bounced around. They're turning their heads, talking to one another. They're just having a great time.
And of course, you see so many different hull designs, but also the engine packages out here, completely different. Everything from supercharged big block Super V engines all the way to your stock Mercury 500 HPs.
There's anywhere from 1,300 horsepower down to a 350 cubic inch motor.
And of course, this team has made their name in water ski racing throughout the years. We're talking about Art Kaiser, driver extraordinaire, and Lee Squire, world champion water ski racer. These guys out here having a good time, not the same tension, pressure that they would have in a water ski race.
No, you can see the smile on Art Kaiser's face. He doesn't have the pressure as he would right before competition in the ski race. He's out there just having a ball today.
And before the poker run, we caught up with this team of Art Kaiser and Lee Squire, and we talked about running at this poker run here in Dana Point, California.
Poker run's quite a bit different because when we're ski racing, my main job is to give Lee a nice flat table of water to ski on, and we never want the boat to leave the water. And that's not the fastest way the boat runs, but it gives Lee a chance to stay up. In a poker run, it's a little different. We'll be flying the boat and running it at times for maximum speed.
Well, those are two great competitors, and Art Squire and Lee Kaiser having a great poker run out here as they head back to Dana Point, California. And how about this? 38-foot Scarab, 1980 edition, proving that old technology works in the modern day. A lot of horsepower here with those Super V supercharged engines. Of course, you're talking about Dave Rankin.
Well, Dave Rankin's been around the business for a long, long time. He's a ex-racer and very successful at it, and he's taken this boat and just completely revamped. It's just one of the most beautiful boats out in the water right now.
And this poker run, not only a treat for Dave Rankin, but also for Gordon Jennings and the entire Paul Pfaff engine building crew. And there's still plenty more to come as you're watching the inaugural Sonance Dick Simon Marine Stars and Stripes poker run right here on the Outdoor Channel Speed Zone.
You know Dick Simon on land.
Tower temperatures say it's pretty close.
Now get to know Dick Simon by sea. Dick Simon Marine, Dana Point. Sale, service, and storage. When you're ready to play with the big boys.
You want it all when you're out on the water. Heart-pounding performance. Advanced engineering and ergonomics. Unsurpassed componentry and construction. Bold styling and clean graphics. You want the satisfaction and prestige that come with owning the finest powerboat built today. That's the Formula Experience. Make it yours.
Coming up on the Outdoor Channel Speed Zone Race Calendar, presented by Teague Custom Marine. September 21st and 22nd, Plymouth, North Carolina will be the place to be for the 2002 ODVA U.S. Grand National Championship on the Roanoke River. See the liquid quarter mile like you've never seen it before, because in the blink of an eye, the quest for a championship is either yours or not. That's your Outdoor Channel Speed Zone Race Calendar, presented by Teague Custom Marine.
Welcome back to the Sonance Dick Simon Marine inaugural Stars and Stripes poker run, along with Tim Horganami and Howard. And Tim, boats heading towards Newport Beach, California for their third of 5 poker cards. So we're at about the halfway point, maybe a little bit past, as we enjoy the beautiful coastline here just off of Dana Point. And as we come back to the poker run, Tim, when you look at this Levy craft here, what's so enjoyable about poker run action is it can be enjoyed by so many different people aboard one boat.
Well, you have the whole family out there. You have friends and family and not per se boat racers, but you know, some of these guys it's the first time they've been out on a poker run, and they're just enjoying it. And a lot of these guys will get into boating after this because it's so much fun.
I was going to say it's a great way to bring along your friends, maybe some other family members, introduce them, if you will, to offshore excitement, but under the auspices of a poker run where you have the competition going on as well. And we have another Levy craft back here. These boats made their name along the rivers, really built for that in the years past, but of course won a world championship in the Factory 1 class last season.
Yes, they did. Rick Harkman rode a Factory 1 Levy craft, I believe 2 years, and the last year I believe he won the world championship. So It says a lot for that manufacturer, and I know the boat itself, and it's a very well-built boat, so it is structurally sound for the ocean also.
We see so many different manufacturers out here. We talked about that during the course of this poker run. You see a little bit of everything from step V-bottoms all the way to catamarans, and there's no real one manufacturer that dominates poker runs throughout the years, as this Formula Matrex, we saw this one earlier. Bill Young, vice president of Warner Brothers, enjoying himself out here. His favorite boat, you pointed out earlier.
Well, it is, and you can see this boat is more of a family-style cruising boat, but yet this boat will run 50 miles an hour. So you get the luxury and comfort of a boat and the performance also. So it's a good all-around performance boat, and it's just another case of family coming out and having a good time on their boat that's not designed for offshore racing.
Of course, a Fountain here. They made their name and made it well. Reggie Fountain, of course, making V-bottom boats through the years, world champion boats, and this one out here handling the swells, the rough water, quite well on its way towards Newport Beach.
Yeah, and it's picking up the swells very good. It's a 33-foot Fountain. It's the old Freedom boat of Eric Hammond's. It's a very good running boat out here.
And of course, the Scarab. Scarabs have been in offshore competition for so many years, made their name, their trade in the rough water, just like the Fountain, just like a Formula, if you will. As is this boat here, F280, Joker's Wild, former offshore boat. So this boat has a great history when it comes to open water competition.
It does. Formula is just a terrific boat out in rough water. But, you know, as you can see, we don't have rough water today, but look at the thing, the way it rides. Just a very, very comfortable boat. That's Anthony Bourdain's boat.
Well, Tim, we see Anthony Bourdain of the Joker's Wild, and a lot of the boats that left Catalina towards Newport Beach, which will be the third of 5 stops. But a lot of the teams, they haven't left Catalina Island yet. They're still enjoying the fun, the sun over there.
Well, I think they are. I think they stopped for lunch. Some of the faster boats or some of the ones that you know, they can get back by 6 o'clock at night and still enjoy the banquet tonight. So they're over enjoying and having lunch.
Talking about the poker runs then, it's not necessarily a race. We've talked about that. It isn't a race, but you want to get your 5 poker cards, but a time limit. There is a time limit before you get back for the banquet. What is the time limit during the course of a poker run?
Well, there is really actually no really time limit. I mean, if somebody goes out and they break the boat, they can still get their card, the stop that they had missed. They request that they had broken down when they were out there, and they still can get their card at the end of when they get back in or towed in.
And here's a 23-foot Baja, piloted by Fast Freddy Kosmarski. And before the poker run, we caught up with Fast Freddy and his team, and we learned a little bit more about what it takes to run in a poker run.
Being the way that they have the poker runs, that it doesn't have to be the fastest boat, that allows someone like me to go out there and have some fun along with these big muscle guys. So I think the camaraderie and just getting together and seeing all these boats together, you know, and everyone having a good time basically is what the poker runs are all about.
And from one 23-foot Baja to another out here, Tim. Smallest boats out here, and they look like they're handling the rough waters towards Newport Beach awfully well.
They are. Baja builds a nice offshore boat. It's a true deep V hull. It's going to take on the conditions a little bit better than a flat bottom will, but it's a smaller boat. So obviously in these kind of conditions, length is everything again. So it's just going to give you a softer ride.
And now many of the top or the fastest teams, if you will, have made it now to Newport Beach. They'll pick up their third of 5 poker cards right here at the Kayla Lynn. And there you see card stop right there. So all the teams will come alongside the Kayla Lynn, pick up their third card. Once again, a sealed envelope. So the anticipation now is starting to build.
It's not who gets back fast. It's who's going to win the poker hand. I think that's what everybody's anticipating when they get back tonight.
Beautiful aerial shot. The boat's coming single file now alongside the Kayla Lynn inside the breakwater here at Newport Beach. And still plenty more to come as you're watching the inaugural Sonance Dick Simon Marine Stars and Stripes Poker Run right here on the Outdoor Channel Speed Zone. Welcome back to the Sonance Dick Simon Marine inaugural Stars and Stripes Poker Run. Along with Tim Horgan, I'm Ian Howard, and Tim, the boats, the teams for this inaugural poker run have now made it to Newport Beach. Here's where they pick up the third of 5 poker run cards, and they're being handed out aboard the beautiful Kayla Lynn right here, come front and center. This is getting exciting now.
The anticipation's building. They want that card. They want to get back to Dana Point and see who wins that $5,000. But on the other hand, too, look at the weather. Look at the scenery. I mean, you know, you want to stay around and enjoy it as long as you can. So,
and most importantly, you get a bird's eye view how this is all done here. How the boats come in, how they pick up the poker card. It almost looks like a big tree picker handing off the card on the end of it. So you simply come up, grab the card. But again, no peeky, you can't look inside. You have to have patience, you have to wait. As Dave Rankin, Gordon Jennings, the entire Paul Pfaff crew, there's their card. They're ready to move on towards the last stop on the ocean, that's Dana Point, before settling in at the reception where they'll get their 5th and final card. And then they can open them all up and see who wins the $5,000.
Well, here we see the 38 cigarette back again. This is Scott Conrad, Tommy Gott, and the new owner of a 38 cigarette, Chris. They're out there having fun. They got their 3rd card. Now they're on their way back to Dana Point.
And Tim, another great offshore competitor here, Roy Gertig. We saw him for years compete in Pacific Offshore, now aboard a 38-foot Top Gun cigarette. And you have to wonder, as these teams are picking up their poker cards, think anybody's going to have 4 aces this year?
Well, it's a possibility. You just don't know what the hands are going to be. It could be 4 aces, it could be 2 pairs, it could be jack high, it could be a lot of different things. So you really don't know until the end of the night.
And of course, we watch the boats continue to file in to the Kayla Lynn where they're being handed their poker card. Why have a poker run off the shores here of Southern California? We've seen it across the country. Why have it here?
Well, look at the view. I mean, look at the amenities that you have. You have Catalina, 32 nautical miles from Dana Point. You have Newport Beach, you have Long Beach, you have San Diego. There's just so many things to do out here, and it's never really been explored. And this is that's why we came up with a poker run, to grab a lot of people and grab a lot of families and get them together and have a fun day of boating.
And again, we saw the boat stop at Avalon Harbor not too long ago, a chance for the teams to take a breather. You do take a pounding out there physically. Also, you have to be mentally sharp out there on the race course, because once again, it is an open race course, so a chance for these teams to come in, have a breather, if you will.
Sure. I mean, it's always nice to get off the boat for a little bit. I mean, maybe an hour, go over and have lunch, and grab a Coke and get back on your boat, and you're on your way.
Well, we see the cards now being handed down to all the race teams here. And again, we can reiterate, safety is a main issue in these poker runs, but also the fact that you can bring out your family pleasure boat as long as it meets certain safety requirements, and you can run in a poker run with your family pleasure boat.
You can run anything you want to, whatever you're comfortable with. You can anywhere from a 23-foot, 22-foot, it's whatever you're comfortable with. It does not necessarily have to be an offshore boat. It's whatever you're comfortable with.
Well, the volunteers are in the process of handing out the final cards as the poker run teams will be heading back to Dana Point for their final hand and the eventual winner. So stay tuned for the conclusion of the Sonance Dick Simon Marine inaugural Stars and Stripes poker run right here on the Outdoor Channel Speed Zone.
The Outdoor Channel Speed Zone's coverage of the inaugural Sonance Stars and Stripes poker run from Dana Point, California has been presented by Sonance, the leader in architectural audio, by Dick Simon Marine, Southern California's #1 high-performance boating center, and by Racer's Edge Marine Cleaner, the choice for high performance.
You know Dick Simon on land.
Tower temperatures say it's pretty close.
Now get to know Dick Simon by sea. Dick Simon Marine, Dana Point. Sale, service, and storage. When you're ready to play with the big boys.
You want it all when you're out on the water. Heart-pounding performance. Advanced engineering and ergonomics. Unsurpassed componentry and construction. Bold styling and clean graphics. You want the satisfaction and prestige that come with owning the finest powerboat built today. That's the Formula Experience. Make it yours.
Welcome back to the Sonance Dick Simon Marine Stars and Stripes inaugural poker run from Dana Point, California. Well, all the cards have been dealt, the course navigated, so all that's left is to find out who the winner is. And with that, the anticipation remains very high. And taking home the $5,000 first place cash prize is the Ashley family from Phoenix, Arizona. They received a hand of 4 8s and 1 jack high as they were crowned the Stars and Stripes Poker Run champions for the year 2002. And now to some other results from the inaugural Sonance Dick Simon Marine Stars and Stripes Poker Run. The fastest boat was certainly Illusion, the Stars and Stripes Cigarette 42, owned by Ken Boyce from San Clemente, California. He covered Dana Point, Catalina Island, Newport Beach, and back to Dana Point in an astonishing 65 minutes. The farthest travel was Don Holtz and his wife aboard their 36-foot skater coming all the way down from Bremerton, Washington. The biggest blooper goes to Byron Epp aboard his 35-foot fountain from Laguna Niguel, California. He broke 2 drives in 2 days. The smallest boat award, there was actually a tie. Fred Kusmarsky, he had a Baja 23-footer from San Clemente, California. And also Paul Arsenal, he also had a Baja 23-footer. He hails from San Juan Capistrano. The largest boat goes to George Peterson, a 51-foot fountain. He's from Irvine, California. The Best Looking Boat Award, presented by Racer's Edge Marine Cleaner, actually a tie. Once again, Don Holtz top honors his 36-foot skater, and Eric Hammond, the beautiful 38-foot cigarette. He's from Laguna Hills, California. Best Looking Rig goes to Paul Pfaff, the 38-foot Scarab, owner of Pennzoil Pfaff Racing. The Best Dressed Crew goes to Art Kaiser and his crew aboard the 38-foot New Era from Rolling Hills, California, along with Byron Ashley. And most people on a boat, there's an award for that. Chip Israel, the Intrepid 377 from Long Beach, California. 12 people on his boat for this poker run.
What I feel about a poker run is that it's a chance for people to use their equipment, use the boats, have a family situation where they all get together, and you become friends. Like the dinner last night that Sonance was so nice to have. There's almost 200 people there. Everybody got to know each other, and then today when they were out in boats, it was like if somebody had a problem, one of them would stop and help them, which happened today a couple of times. And it's like everybody is just having a great time with their boats that they've purchased. Gives them a reason sometimes to do something extra than just going out boating. The beautiful part is when you can find a sponsor like we did with Sonance, who puts up the money to have a $5,000 first prize, that even makes it even better. But that isn't the total thing. The total thing in my mind is just getting a lot of good people together and everybody having fun.
Well, that'll do it for the inaugural Sonance Dick Simon Marine Stars and Stripes Poker Run from Dana Point, California. So on behalf of Tim Horgan, our entire Outdoor Channel Speed Zone crew, I'm Ian Howard saying so long, and we'll see you next time on the water right here on the Outdoor Channel Speed Zone.